Thank you all for coming, and thank you, Gene, for hosting us this evening. We've done this a few times, and we really appreciate the opportunity to speak to and let you all know what we're running for and why we think you should support us. The first time in 24 years, you're going to have an opportunity to participate in this election for county court judge. There hasn't been a single vote cast for this position since 1986. And my opponent says that you've had a choice each and every election since 1986. But I believe because there hasn't been one vote cast that you have not had a choice. And as a lawyer, I think it's important to make arguments based on fact, logic, and reason. And I think it's time for a different perspective. I'm running to give voters a choice and a new vision for this seat. I grew up in Connecticut. My parents were immigrants, and they worked very hard and sacrificed greatly so that I could pursue opportunities in my life and take advantage of the blessings that we have here. I grew up and graduated from Rice University in Houston, Texas. After graduating college, I worked at a law firm in Austin, Texas as a legislative assistant. We ushered legislation through the legislature. That was part of the law firm's job, and Matt already talked about the legislative process a little bit, but I worked and I have experience in the legislative system. I then decided to go to law school. I went to and enrolled at Georgetown University for law school, and while I was there I had some great opportunities there. I was an intern at the Office of Citizen Complaint Review, which was the government agency that investigates allegations of police misconduct. I then was a law clerk at the State and Local Legal Center, which is an organization that writes amicus briefs in Supreme Court legislation involving state and local governments. So those issues involve the most sophisticated legal arguments in front of the highest court in our country. During law school, I also had the opportunity to visit the Keys, and I moved down here because I was fortunate enough to visit and fell in love with the Keys and wanted to pursue my career and my goals here. So unlike most of my classmates who stayed in Washington, D.C. or New York City, I came down here and I have dedicated my entire career to public service. I have been an assistant state attorney at the state attorney's office. I prosecuted misdemeanor cases for 2 years. I prosecuted juvenile cases for a few months, and then I also prosecuted felony cases for the last 5 years. So my entire career has been dedicated to public service. I want to see if there are opportunities for advancement and efficiency in our courtroom. I want to see what technologies can be used to make our cases move more expeditiously. I want to see what procedures can be modified to allow the cases to move through our court system more smoothly. I have the education, the experience, and the integrity to serve, and I would be honored to have your support and your vote August 24th. Thank you. I want to talk a little bit about my reputation as well. The topic was brought up. I'm known, if you ask the attorneys in town here, I'm known as a very respectful, fair, and reasonable person in dealing with all the attorneys that I deal with. I have 2 former chief assistant state attorneys that I worked for. Both of them support me. The current chief assistant state attorney supports me. I have broad support at the public defender's office. A couple assistant public defenders were here this evening to support me. So I'm also known as a fair, respectful, reasonable person, and I have broad support among attorneys in town. And but it's not just about the attorneys. It's not about the handful of us in town, in this room. You know, I love Mr. Sands and Mr. Collins and Mr. Cintron, but it's about all of you participating in who should be your next county court judge. It's not just up to the attorneys. It shouldn't be just what the lawyers in town think or the power structure that decides who should be your next county court judge. This is your seat. This is the seat for the citizens of Monroe County, and all of you should be engaged and involved in selecting who your next county court judge should be. I'm approximately the same age that my opponent was when he took the bench. I've been in the Keys longer than my opponent was when he took the bench. I'm ready, committed, willing, able to serve, and I want to pursue a standard of excellence in your courtroom. And I would, again, be honored for your support and your vote on August 24th. Thank you.
Thank you.